Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Ferrari, episode number 74 today for the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 5, round number 10. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week, I recommend you go and check that out, and of course subscribing to the channel to see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode, as it's going to be a wet qualifying. I would usually this would be a sign for misery, but we've actually been doing quite well recently in a few wet races, been able to get up there, and we actually did it very well last time out at Silverstone. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen that episode yet, in our first race for the Scuderia as well. Most to note from the R&D for Mercedes have moved ahead of us, rather annoyingly, and Haas have brought some more upgrades. So I'll have to wait and see how Mercedes and Haas actually get on, because they've both not been performing at their best. Whether or not we can spoil party. Can anyone stop Verstappen and Red Bull, or even Stroll and Red Bull? We don't know. For us, our fastest lap, we were actually up in P3, so I'm not going to say this. It's actually looking good for us in terms of our recent my recent wet weather performances this season 5 have been very good, compared to better than the performances in the dry. We're actually gone purple first sector. And this is my best lap, by the way. I did do some laps at the end of the session, but wasn't able to beat the time I set earlier in the session. It is just somehow how these things go. Even in real life, I know some people can't beat their previous best time. As well as we come down the hill, the middle sector is always a pain on this year's game, especially this corner, Pouhon. Pouhon is an absolute pain on F1 2021, and apparently they fix it for F1 22, and I hope they have, because it was made Monaco miserable. Also, this sequence of corners, even though it's a lower speed corner, the AI was still gained so much time off that corner. It's unbelievable. And you can see here we've actually lost a couple of tenths to Stroll, who is currently on original pole position at this moment in time. So yes, as we come through the final sector then, it's still pretty good through this final sector. It is of course a little oversteer there, moment there, went off track there, so losing a little bit of time than I probably would have done. Through the bus stop, not the greatest corner on this game, and up to the line I actually lost a bit of time out of the bus stop. It's a 1:49.6, so 10th and a half off Stroll. Science is right there though, in P4, so we need to help our teammate out. We'll see what we can do from third on the grid. Time for the race.
We're in Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula 1 World Championship. It's a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher in 1992. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of Turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lance Stroll lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have a Ferrari, Sainz, Pierre Gasly and Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Norris and Sebastian Vettel, Perez, Ricciardo, George Russell and Island, Ocon, Joe, Christian Lundgaard and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
I think we can do, Jeff. Race strategy, yeah, alternate one. Why not? Yeah. 5 laps on medium, 6 laps on softs. That's the strategy we like to do. It also undercut. Might lead to a poor start, but with Sainz on softs, you know, we have been brought in to help Sainz win his maiden championship. So we'll have to wait and see what we can do. 5 red lights in for the Belgian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's an okay start for me on the mediums. Gasly comes out of nowhere to try and get Sainz. A poor start from the our teammate as well. Is that Alonso? It is. Alonso has had an Alonso start. You know, he got Sainz, he got Norris, I think that was as well on the launch, and then just dives it down the inside as Gasly was having a go at me and moves up the position. A great move from the Spaniard. As that's not a great move from the Spaniard. What was he thinking of trying a move into Puon? You know, I know they got. He gets on the curbing as well, so he's always going to go into me. I've closed the door there, and obviously this is 2021 still, which obviously wasn't quite alongside. It wasn't a complete dive bomb, but definitely for me, that wasn't my fault. Well, Alonso has paid his price for his risky move and has front wing damage. I mean, through Puon, I don't know if I can go anywhere else other than going wide. If I try and give him space, we'll end up going to Narnia at that point. Anyway, Gasly had a little go at me there, but nothing to do for the Frenchman. So, you know, we're going to come in at the end of lap 4. These mediums have been terrible. Stroll and Verstappen have been strolling away at the front of the grid. We're going to come in a lap earlier on the end of lap 4. No one else in, which is good, so no double stacking or getting held in the pits. 2.8 second stop though isn't great as well, so that'll be something to work on. There's Alonso in stone dead last place. So we're going to come out behind Schumacher. That's annoying, but we are ahead of Mazepin, so we'll just we should be able to mince Schumacher on the Kemmel straight because we're going to have DRS. None of the our previous moves that we've done for Eau Rouge on the Kemmel straight with DRS is a simple overtake, and we're already through on the German. As Callum Ilott, who's not had a great start to his AlphaTauri Porsche career, is out of the race with an engine failure. So it's a little worrying for the Porsche power cars, whether or not the other 3 will blow up or not. We'll have to wait and see as we're watching Gasly there. He's sort of actually moving ahead and actually leaving Sainz well behind there. I mean, Gasly is 3rd in the championship. Doesn't get there as well, but obviously we're coming now down the pit straights through into turn 1. There is Gasly, and we are comfortably actually ahead of him. Actual fact, we're a full second out of him. Of course, Gasly's going to get DRS. He's thanks to the middle sector, and you can see Sainz is on the hard tyre. So at this point, lap 9, you know, I think it's time we indulge our inner Alonso from real life Monaco Grand Prix and slow back Gasly into Sainz and try and give well, I don't want to give the podium up to Sainz, but you know, that is the team order, to give Sainz the podium, to damage limitation to Verstappen, who isn't being allowed past by Lance Stroll as well. So, we have been slowing. We've been backing up Gasly, but Gasly hasn't been, Sainz hasn't been able to do that, and Sainz has actually lost out to Hamilton now as well. So, he tried a little overtake on Gasly, got forced out, and then Hamilton just dived up the inside. The hard tyres really not working for Sainz on the Ferrari, so in the end we just try and leave him ahead, as now Tsunoda's going past Sainz. This is not what Sainz or the screw we need as part of the constructors as well. Will Lando Norris get involved as well? We'll have to wait and see as well. So yeah, at that point we just tried to run away, but of course the two Red Bulls, untouchable today. I could not get anywhere near them at all. Might be to do with the strategy maybe, but this also, but we were losing time on the soft tyres to them as well, when they were on the mediums as well. So yes, P3. Well, I mean, best of the rest. George Russell gets driver of the day. So I'll somehow managed to come through the field to P9 as well. Vettel getting more points for Aston Martin, which is good. Aston Martin having their resurgence. Ricciardo only P12. Not really sure what happened to Ricciardo. He's starting to turn out like his real life self. And Ocon actually finished ahead of his teammate in the end after that extra pit stop as well. So yes, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Verstappen takes the lead back from Sainz and has a 9-point lead. Gasly only 15 points back. So, there is a chance for us. I think we can big focus on P5 maybe. But obviously trying to get Sainz the lead back in Italy, in Monza, next time out with 7 points in front on the constructors' side.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race.
Yeah, the mediums worked great, but the soft tyre, we did well.
You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you?
Well, you definitely did.
Appreciate your time.
So there we go. The Belgium episode, always a shorter one. Unless it's a safety car, which we didn't have today. So yes, onwards to Italy. That episode coming out next Monday as well. We are clawing on Leclerc and Tsunoda. Tsunoda's been really consistent though. So although we now starting to get those podiums, our third of the season now, it's not. He's still there, being fourth, fifth place. A little bit like Russell in real life. Not really having the car to be able to challenge for those podiums or race wins, but still being consistent enough. I mean, if you compare that to his teammate Callum Ilott, who hasn't really been able to perform and has had a fraction of the points of his teammate as well. So, and on that note, I'm going to leave it there. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F1 2021 and F1 22 drive cremo videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and bye.